Hello brick sculptors and welcome to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris and today we're going to talk about a topic that I have wanted to discuss for a very long time. Now I've held off on talking about this because there's not a lot of good information out there about it. It's something that's made me curious for a while and I'm still trying to learn this just as you guys probably are, and that is LDUs or Lego Draw Units. And honestly, I kind of blame the LEGO community. There's not a lot of good stuff out there on this. I searched YouTube, I couldn't find a single video talking about this topic, which is shocking because it's pretty commonly talked about, at least in the more techie corners of the LEGO universe. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And please bear in mind, I'm just kind of figuring this out as well. I know these techniques, but I don't really speak in LDUs that well. So let me go ahead and show you what I've come up with here, and in the comments let me know if I got anything wrong, if there's anything you want to add to this conversation. Now first thing we need to do is we need to define LDU or Lego Draw Unit, and I'll be honest, I did not find any good definitions out there that I found worthy, so I'm going to do it myself. And let me know if my definition's terrible and you want to adjust it. Let me know in the comments how I can add or make it better. My definition of LDU or Lego Draw Unit is the smallest achievable incremental size of Lego. And so let's talk about a few common sizes that we use all the time. One brick or one plate. Now a brick is commonly known that it's 3 plates tall and 2.5 plates wide. And we're going to talk in width today because we're going to be demonstrating these using snot technique on this plate here. So we're going to talk in width. And the width of one brick is actually 20 LDU. And what that means is that this can be subdivided 20 times, that's right, into really small sections. Now if the width of a brick is 2.5 plates or tiles, well, then how many LDU is the width of a plate? 20 divided by 2.5 equals 8. So one plate is 8 LDU, meaning the smallest increment you can have in Lego is 1/8 of a plate thickness. Kind of crazy, isn't it? Well, we're going to try to demonstrate that in a way. So let's go ahead and start here with some demonstration. And let's start real simple here and work our way more complicated. So basically, let's call this flush right here. The dark gray section here is going to kind of show us how far in we're going. And we're going to line up pieces on the white here in incremental steps of snot technique to show LDUs. And let's start real simple here. We're just going to start with plates. Now everyone knows you can take a snot piece, put a plate on front. This is now going to stick out one plate further than just a flush brick. So here we have 0 LDU and one plate is 8 LDU. We can put a plate underneath this tile on top of these snot bricks and get another step here, and that's going to be 2 plates wide, so that's 16 LDU. And then we can have a full brick, which is 20 LDU. Now this kind of proves right here that we can go smaller because these steps are not equal. This is 8 LDU, 8 LDU, 4 LDU, because this is only a half step. The width again of a brick is 2.5 plates. So let's break this down into half steps. Now if we want to break this into half steps, we need to use some different pieces. The next pieces we're going to introduce are the headlight brick, classic snot piece. And the beauty of the headlight brick is it can make plates recess in 1/2 plates. You can achieve half plates with this in a snot fashion. The other piece we're going to use is the bracket. The bracket sticks out in front of a brick 1/2 plate. 1/2 plate is 4 LDU, meaning you can do 4 subsections of that width. Crazy, right? Now when doing this, I tend to favor the bracket, but sometimes you have to use the headlight brick, just depending how much room you have to work with in depth. The bracket is more user-friendly because it has more attachment points. The biggest drawback to the headlight brick is you can't stack these because there's nothing compatible that can stack on top of this and make it taller. So you're stuck to just one brick tall. So let's go ahead and see what we can do with half plate steps. Well, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start with 0 LDU, just like that. And here we're going to do 2 headlight bricks with a tile on the front. And that's a 1/2 plate step, or 4 LDU. And then we can just repeat what we did down here. Snot piece with the tile flush on the front, 8 LDU. Now instead of going recessed in, we can bump out half a plate with a bracket and a tile. That's going to be 12 LDU. Next we can take snot pieces with a plate and a tile, 16 LDU. And then finally our full brick, 20 LDU. So here we have 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. The steps are definitely getting smaller, but we can still do better. Let's go over to this side here. Now you'll notice some gaps in here, which, as you probably can guess, we need to introduce a new piece. So the last time we introduced the headlight brick and we introduced the bracket, this time we need to introduce our friend the jumper plate. Now the jumper plate has a very unique characteristic to it. The distance from end to end of this jumper is basically 2 bricks, 40 LDUs. But when you're using it in a practical application, you're going to cut it in half by putting a brick right in the middle, meaning you have 2.5 plates taken out of the middle, meaning you have 2.5 plates combining both sides. 2.5 divided by 2 means you have 1.25 plates width on each side of this one brick in the middle. Now we've achieved a quarter step. So if we build this in, we can now do quarter plate measurements. And it's pretty simple to do. All we're going to have to do is every step in between these steps, we're going to do a jumper step to achieve a quarter of a plate. 1/4 of a plate is 2 LDU. So now we can start right here again with 0 LDU. Our first step is going to be 2 headlight bricks and actually a plate. If it didn't have a plate, it would be behind. It would be negative LDU. And a tile. And this is going to give us an increment of 1/4 of a plate, or 2 LDU, out from 0. The next step is going to be just like this over here. 2 headlight bricks and a tile. And that's 4 LDU. Next, we're going to go back to the jumper plates. Snot piece, 2x2 plate, and a 2x2 tile. That's going to get us 6 LDU. Snot piece with just 1 tile sticking out, 8 LDU. And you can see just how small these increments are. Back to the jumpers. Bracket with a plate and a tile. That's 10 LDU. Next one is just a bracket with a tile. And then back to the jumpers. Snot piece, 2 plates, and a tile on the jumpers. Snot piece, 1 plate, 1 tile, no jumper. Back to the jumpers, bracket, 2 plates, 1 tile. And then finally, our full brick, 20 LDUs. Pretty crazy how small those steps are, aren't they? So here we have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 LDUs. Now again, we got to go back to the definition of LDU. The smallest achievable incremental size of Lego. If each of these increments is 2 LDU, it means, that's right, we can achieve even smaller. Now, for most people, myself included, I never have a need to build smaller than this. But, for definition's sake, can it be done? Absolutely. It does take one very specific piece. There are multiple pieces that can do this, but I know one that is most commonly used, and it's incredibly rare and kind of hard to get. And that is the minifig neck bracket. And this width of this neck bracket is very unique. The width of this neck bracket is actually 3 LDU. Now I know what you're saying. Well, you said the smallest measurement is 1 LDU. This is 3. So this alone cannot achieve the smallest measurement. You have to combine it with a jumper plate. As we mentioned before, one side of the jumper is 1 1/4 plates. 1 1/4 plates is 10 LDU. We subtract 3 LDU. We now have 7 LDU. And we add 1 plate, which is 8 LDU. And that little tiny difference there is 1 LDU. Now again, this is something you're probably not going to use because the increments are just so small they're almost not even worth mentioning, number one. But number two, the pieces used to achieve them are quite difficult and odd to come by. So for most people, and myself included, this is the smallest measurement you're probably going to use. Well, I hope you guys found this useful. Like I said before, I'm learning this just as you are. I hope I got all the terminology right. If I got anything wrong, please let me know below in the comments because I'm trying to improve on this just as you guys probably are. And just shocking how little of this stuff is out there on YouTube. I wish there was more technique stuff on YouTube. That's honestly why I kind of created this channel, because in searching for stuff like this, I found nothing. Lots of different YouTube channels out there, lots of cool Lego stuff, but very few people talking about technique, and I think it's something that we need to talk about more as a Lego community. So, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you like technical videos like this, definitely check me out, because I'm going to do more stuff just like this in the future, and we will see you next time.